Hey guys, it's Kylie. Today I'm going to be doing my May wrap-up. Yeah, last month was May. I did get through quite a few books this month. I did quite a few audiobooks, and some of the books that I've read I've already borrowed out to my mom and my sister, so I'll have to insert pictures of those ones, but the first one that I read this month was A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I enjoyed it. I guess a lot of people didn't really like it. It's significantly shorter than the other books, but it is meant to be a bridge book, so there's not a lot of plot, and it kind of just lets the characters be happy for a little bit, which I actually really enjoyed. I think I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars just because I am really invested in the world and I love everything that has to do with that series. So my mom already has that book and she's supposed to be reading it, but I bet she's not. The next book that I finished this month was Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I actually started reading this in April, but I was not doing very well with my reading in April. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars as well. It follows 2 scythe apprentices in a world where there is no death or sickness or anything like that, and so to control the population there's things called scythes that have to kill people, and it's just about them learning how to be scythes. And there's a little bit of a plot twist somewhere in the middle that just complicates things way more for them, and it is really good. I would really like to get to Thunderhead, but I don't know, I just haven't picked it up yet. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this one though. It is worth the hype. The next one that I finished this month was Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli, and this is set in the world of Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, but it follows his friend Leah and basically her trying to come out as bisexual and accept herself and maybe falling for one of her friends as well. I think I gave that one a 5 out of 5 stars to her, or 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I liked being able to see more of the Simon world and more of Simon. It's just a quick, happy, contemporary book that I really enjoyed. The next one that I read was Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. This is the one with like the almost poetry looking pages. It has to do with really difficult subject matter like girls with eating disorders, boys with steroid problems and drug problems and drinking, and just everybody trying to be perfect, which is impossible. So it is really a good one. I figured out when I started it that it's the second one in a different series, or not a different series, but a different book of hers that I read. I can't remember which one it was, but I don't think you would have to read one to read the other, but they do connect in the end, and basically it follows the sister of one of the characters in the other book, so you get a little bit more in-depth of what happened to him and his problems. So that was really a good one. I think I gave that one 5 out of 5 stars too. It definitely made me cry. It was really good though. The next one that I read was The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I gave that one 5 out of 5 stars too. I gave everything 5 out of 5 stars apparently. This one follows some college kids at a school called Hampton University, I think, in New England, and they are all taking all of their classes from this Greek teacher, I think he is, and it's a really elite group of students. The teacher will not give a lot of people classes, so they just spend all of their time with him, and they're just like a little cult of kids, and they start doing some pretty messed up things, and it gets pretty dark, but I really enjoyed it. My sister is gonna borrow that one, so I don't have it here with me right now, but I would definitely recommend that one as well. So the next book that I finished was Carrie by Stephen King. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. It was a good reading month for me. I apparently loved everything that I read. This is Stephen King's first novel, and it follows a high school girl named Carrie who is much different than all of the rest of the kids at the school. They make fun of her a lot and are really mean to her, lots of bullying. She has a telekinetic power and things get pretty dark towards the end. I'm sure everybody probably knows the story of Carrie if you've seen the movie or anything. It's a pretty famous story, but it's really a good one. It put me in mind of like a YA Stephen King sort of thing because it is following a younger person. Usually they're following either like kids to adults or just adults, but it was really a good one. I enjoyed it. Next one that I read was Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. It's a thriller with a crazy plot twist at the end. I know a lot of people are kind of upset with the plot twist because there's just no possible way that you could guess it. It's just like so out of left field, but I loved it and it was crazy. Crazy ending. I would definitely recommend reading this if you like thrillers. I don't want to say too much about it just because it is a thriller and it's easy to give things away by accident. But if you like thrillers, definitely check that one out if you haven't yet. The next book that I read was an ebook, and that was Babe Walker Thirsty. I think I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. If you've ever read the White Girl Problems or Psycho book by Babe Walker, she's not a real person, but that's who they claim the author is. They're kind of silly, but I really enjoy them. Just lighthearted, funny books. The last book that I read this month was Still Me by Jojo Moyes. It's the third Me Before You book, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I don't think that I'm ever going to love them as much as I loved Me Before You. I wish that everything could have gone differently in Me Before You, and it could have just had a series with Will because I loved him, but oh well. I did prefer it to the second book in the series though, so if you read the second one and you were kind of disappointed, I think that Still Me is a lot better than that one. And now, I'm not going to do a TBR this month because I went so off of my TBR this month, and I think that trying to read some specific things might be putting me in kind of a slump. So I DNF'd that Wayfarer book. I think I'm going to unhaul it sometime. I didn't get into it very much. I discovered that it was the second book in a series and I don't have the first one, but it's following a different character, and the characters from the previous book aren't really in this book, so I don't know if I was just confused because it was the sequel or what the problem was, but I just could not get into it, so I'm not going to make myself try to read it. But currently I am reading The Shining by Stephen King and The Power by Naomi Alderman. And I am also listening to Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman, I think it is. The Shining is another super famous Stephen King book. If you've ever watched the movie or anything, it's following a family at a hotel in Colorado, and it's haunted, but they're the caretakers of the hotel over the winter, and there's nobody else there except for them, but it's super secluded. They start to get cabin fever, basically, and everything goes very, very wrong. This one is a horror as well, and the movie is terrifying, so I'm pretty sure that the book is going to be pretty scary too. I'm on page 175, so I haven't gotten into anything super, super scary yet, but the movie definitely scarred me as a child, so we'll see if the book can do the same. And The Power is about women get this power to like electrocute people with their hands, basically, and so there's just a total switch in power from men to women, and I am on page 120 in this one. It's really good so far, but I decided I wanted to take a break from it and read The Shining instead. I don't know, I was just in the mood for something scary, I guess. And then Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. I've been listening to it since yesterday, but I think I'm on chapter 5 or something, probably 2 or 3 hours in, and I don't really know what it's about, but I am really enjoying it. So if you guys have read any of these books or are interested in any of these books, let me know. I would love to know. And until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.